I have spent years managing my complicated health issues reactively, specialist after specialist, problem to problem, and I thought I was staying on top of it all. Until Superpower sent someone to my door, took my blood, and a week later I had 100 plus biomarkers mapped out in front of me like a blueprint of my entire body. And in my action plan, I saw a problem that had gone undetected that actually explained so many of the symptoms I was having every single day. Before becoming a Superpower member, I'd heard about lots of different options sort of similar to Superpower, in particular Function Health. So I'm going to give you a quick overview and comparison of the two so you can see sort of the differences and also why I like Superpower so much. First, I want to say thank you to Superpower for sponsoring this video. I worked with them last year and we decided to work together again now so that I can give you my full in-depth review. And even though this is sponsored, I will be giving my completely honest review. A huge benefit for me is that Superpower offers an at-home blood draw. I know when I get my blood taken, I often don't really feel good afterwards, and it can just be an overall stressful and anxiety-inducing experience. So I was able to book somebody to come at the exact time that I wanted them to come. Someone came, I knew that they were going to come at that time, take my blood. It was extremely quick. I was able to also just lie down on my couch and be in the comfort of my own home. And honestly, that is a huge benefit for me. And that's putting aside all of the other things, and that's just the first step. You also get a personalized action plan with very clear, tangible areas where your health could improve based on those results. My health journey has felt very fragmented and disconnected, and I don't want another standalone product. So I really appreciate how Superpower gives you the ability to upload not only past records, but also other records. I see lots of different healthcare providers that do lots of different tests. And so being able to put those all together really allows me to see my health as an overview and see all of the different aspects and not just the individual tests that Superpower is doing once a year. And you also have the unlimited access to that concierge, and the yearly membership price of Superpower is $199. I have now been using Superpower Health for 9 months. Superpower is a comprehensive health membership that helps you proactively and preventatively improve your health through over 100 biomarkers. So here is my full in-depth review. I first found Superpower when I was scrolling on social media, and I really resonated with their why. I've felt a lot of times in healthcare like everything is so disconnected and all my data is in all these different places and all my tests are in all these different places. And Superpower's mission is really to provide a all-in-one platform to have all of that in one place. Because even though I've had so many different health challenges in various aspects of my health and various aspects of my body, I've realized how connected everything is, and Superpower really acknowledges that in the way that they do their testing and in the way that their platform is built, which I'll show you much more about later. And I love that you have control and access over all of your information, and again, that it's all in one place. Being a Superpower member is extremely simple. First, you can sign up for a membership and you just do all of that online, and then as soon as you sign up, you're able to book your yearly blood draw, and you can choose to have it at your home. Someone will come to your home to draw your blood, which is what I did, which was extremely convenient. And shortly after, you receive all of your results on their platform all in one place. I was actually having a lot of different symptoms for quite a while, and until I did the test with Superpower, I didn't know that there was something potentially out of the normal range with my thyroid health, and I was able to take action on that, and ever since I've been feeling so much better and all of those symptoms went away. So that just goes to show sometimes you don't really know what's going on in your health until you test things. And you have a dashboard where you can see all of that. All of it is extremely easy to understand. It's very visual. I'm a very visual person, so I really appreciate that. Not only can you see the raw data and the results, but it's also all color coded, and it shows you a clear action plan of things that you could do to improve your health. They also guide you to more resources. You can get more analysis on the test and the insights from the test. You can ask a healthcare provider questions, and they also guide you to further testing and resources based on your personalized action plan. Now for the exciting part, I'm going to walk you through the dashboard so you can really see all of the features and capabilities that Superpower has to offer. When you log into your account on Superpower, the homepage of the dashboard shows you the overview, the highlights, and the insights. So first we have my Superpower score, which is an overall score based on all of the results that I have of my health. I'm at an 81 out of 100, which I'd say is pretty good, but you know, still got a ways to go to get to that 100. My biological age is 17.3. I get told a lot that I look a lot younger than I am, but the other day I went to the gym and they asked if I was allowed to be there without a parent, implying that I was under 15. And I'm like, I'm 23. Anyways, I guess my biological age being 6.2 years younger than my calendar age, they're not looking at me. So that's based on my test. So I'd say that's a win. And then under here, I can access my action plan, which we'll go more into in a minute. Below, I can see key insights as well as a summary of all the different biomarkers that were tested. So for example, a top health priority of mine is to improve my thyroid health. And that's based on a variety of different tests that were done. And this is something that I was actually having a lot of different symptoms for quite a while, and until I did the test with Superpower, I didn't know that there was something potentially out of the normal range with my thyroid health. And after I had that, not only did it show my different results, but it said that my top health priority was to improve my thyroid health. And then after that, I was able to look into it, ask my doctor about it, and I was able to take action on that. And ever since, I've been feeling so much better and all of those symptoms went away. So that just goes to show, sometimes you don't really know what's going on in your health until you test things. You can see it's color coded down here with the summary of all the different biomarkers that were tested, how many are optimal, how many are normal, and then how many are out of range. If we go into the data page, that's where you can see much more detail on what I was just talking about. So first, over here on the left, I like to call this my health report card. You can see you get sort of a grade for each different area of the body. So I've got some A's, got some B's, at least I don't have any C's, but definitely some areas to improve on, which is also really helpful to get a summary, because a lot of times it can be harder to understand what the individual tests mean, and different results when paired together can mean different things than when they're standing alone. Over here under records, you can see the raw lab results, and you can also upload past and additional current external lab results, which is really helpful because I know I see a lot of different healthcare providers. So being able to have all of my information in one place is really great. And it also helps track progress on how things are changing over time. As you can see down here on each result, you can have the history and it tells you each one. You can also sort it if you want to see only the out of range results or optimal results. You can also sort it by category, so you can really see which of the individual tests are contributing to the letters on the other side. Next is the protocol. On the right, there are my goals, which is what I was referring to earlier with the action plans. So this is taking all of the different test results and looking at overall overarching areas that I could improve and dive more deeper into with my health. It does suggest supplements based on your results and action plan, but I personally believe that supplements are often overused, and I always talk to my doctor before I consider taking anything, even if it is something that I can just easily get without a prescription. And even if I see a test result and see a supplement that could supposedly directly support that, I just know, especially with how complicated my health is on top of that, that's not something I like to do, just randomly taking supplements. And then under the general section, there are some insights as well as a lot of lifestyle changes that you could potentially make, again, based on the results and the action plan. My only problem with this is that people could potentially think that with their abnormal test results, that could mean that if they do this, that might fix them, when there could be a more severe problem going on. With that being said, I do appreciate the stress management techniques and the sleep hygiene routine suggestions, because I know how impactful sleep is for me. Honestly, it's one of the things that I think makes the biggest difference in how I feel on a day-to-day basis, and I know how much stress can impact the symptoms I feel every day, and I'm sure lots of things that I don't feel every day and just the baseline of my health. So this is really helpful because they're very simple, tangible things that I can incorporate into my everyday life and into making sure that I'm really prioritizing stress management and good quality sleep. The Concierge is a beta feature. I think this is really cool because it has all of the data and the results that you've given it, and you can ask it further questions about insights. You can ask it to look at patterns, which I think is really helpful, especially in looking at past results, how things have changed, again, where things are potentially connected. And also just asking questions in general about how Superpower works, how the membership works, and how you can get the most out of it. Lastly, in the marketplace, you can see all the products Superpower offers, including more advanced testing if there are specific areas of your health that you want to dive deeper into. Overall, I've really enjoyed being a Superpower member, but it's also just made a huge difference in my health. With my health being so complicated as it is, I'm usually very focused on seeing all these different specialists who do very specific testing to figure out very specific problems in my life, because I'm often going to those specialists because of a very prevalent problem that is affecting me on a daily basis, where I'm noticing specific symptoms on a daily basis, which often means that the baseline general parts of my health are pushed to the side and forgotten about. And all those basics are things that Superpower tests for, which provides a really great baseline for me to add all of those additional specific testing onto, to provide a really broad general overview so that I can see my health as a whole picture. And as a visual person, I love the dashboard and the way that it's laid out and how easy it is to not only see my results and access them, but also understand them and understand what they mean. And it allows me to see certain aspects and how they change and improve over time. And as I mentioned and without having the testing from Superpower, I wouldn't have realized what all those small symptoms that I was having on a daily basis that were really disrupting my life were from, and I wouldn't have been able to take action on it so soon and figure it out and find a solution for it so that I can live a better life and feel better every day. If you're interested in becoming a Superpower member, I'll leave the link in the description. Thank you again to Superpower for sponsoring this video, and thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.